Creating images and generating new slides are just two things that you can do with Gemini and Google Slides. Hey friends, I'm Tasia Custode and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I share a ton of content like this. Today, we're hands-on with Google Slides AI. So let's start with learning how to create images using Gemini and Google Slides. And I'm going to be bouncing between two different slide decks for you here, but there are multiple ways to create an image using Gemini right inside Slides. You can tap on the Help Me Create an Image icon near the top right, or you can go to Insert, Image, Help Me Create an Image. Either way you get to it, a Create an Image Gemini side panel is going to pop out for you where you'll prompt Slides with what it is you'd like to create. Hitting the Ask Gemini option near the top right will also pop out a side panel at any time. But more on that option in a little bit. Create an image is based on a selected slide. So depending on what slide in a presentation you're in, you may see create an image, and you might also see something that says suggest images for this slide. For this example, I just have a prompt box, so let's go with that. And when you click in the prompt box, you'll be given some inspiration image generation ideas. So first, let's use the example of a photorealistic image of a multicolor running shoe on a blue background. And then you can pick which orientation of the image you'd like, as well as the image style. Now, I've already told it I want a photorealistic image, so I'm gonna just leave this blank. And then let's hit create to see what we can get. Now, this did take about 20 seconds to generate for me for reference, but through the magic of video editing, here are all of our options. So we can click on an image option to preview it. And you're gonna wanna look at the details closely, especially in images of people. And like as an example here on these shoes, it's got some attempted brand name on some of these images. So always look closely, but how cool is this? If you're happy with an image, you're just gonna select Insert as Image. Now you can resize it and move the image around as per usual on your slide. But that's not all. You can also select the option to create adapt to content image for your slide. This will create an image that wraps around the object of your slide, meaning you can generate a background image really quickly. And you can do this within your Create an Image side panel by entering your prompt and selecting adapt content. Or you can right click on your slide at any time and select change background and create, and here your side image panel would pop out for you. Or you could change the background at any time by selecting the generated image that you like, and instead of simply inserting it as an image, you can hit the drop down arrow and select to insert as background. So now let's learn how to create a summary of your entire presentation using Gemini and Google Slides. From your presentation, you're going to click on that Ask Gemini button near the top right. Now first, you should notice that it automatically creates a summary of your presentation for you in this pop-out right-hand panel. So with just one click, we've got a summary of the presentation. But if for some reason you don't have that summary auto-populate for you, you could simply type in a prompt near the bottom of your right-hand panel. So here we can say, create a recap of this entire presentation, highlighting the main points covered. We're going to hit enter, and here we go. In a matter of seconds, we've got a robust summary of this presentation. But let's take it a step further and learn how to generate new slides using Gemini. I've popped back over to a templated slide deck here, and you can make summary slides easily or generate whole new slides. So let's start with a summary slide of the presentation. And by the way, if you didn't see these options here in the right, you'd simply enter a prompt in the bottom of the panel asking to create a summary slide for this presentation. You would hit enter, and in a matter of seconds, you have a summary slide that has been created. Now from here, you can close this if you don't like it. You could retry the prompt, or you can click to insert it into your slide deck. You can also, by the way, see any cited sources for this slide too. So let's hit insert to insert that slide. And in a literal matter of seconds, we've got a summary slide created where, of course, you would tweak it as you see fit. But the bulk of the content is done for you. This is a huge time saver. And as I said, you can also generate entirely new slides of entirely new content as well. So I'm going to click on this prompt to create a slide about example applications. Now again, if you don't see a helpful prompt, you can simply type in the prompt box at the bottom to create a slide, and then you would just describe the topic of the slide that's relevant to your presentation. You'd hit enter, and then just like that, Gemini creates an entirely new slide for you. Now keep in mind, I'm showing you examples from a templated slide deck for this particular one, so these can be really robust. I'm going to show you another example from a different presentation in a second. But remember, if you like this, you're going to insert this into your presentation in order to save it. So let's switch back over from this template to an actual slide deck I put together on Gemini in Google Workspace. And let's activate our Ask Gemini panel. And here, let's create a slide. And I want to create a slide focused on the main features of Gemini for Google Workspace, including Gmail, Drive, Docs, Sheets, and Slides. And just like that, it's created a brand new slide. So you get the idea here. You can also write or rewrite content with the help of Gemini in Slides. So let's say you've got way too much text on this slide and you need help rewriting this content to be more concise. With that slide selected, let's enter a prompt like, rewrite this slide to be more concise and to the point without losing content. We'll hit enter, and just like that, it's rewritten the slide. Now, you could, from here, obviously remove the content on the slide that you don't want. And then from the right-hand panel, you could hit insert. It's this little arrow. And then that would insert the rewrite into your slide, where of course, then you can get rid of anything you don't want and you can reformat. And before I share a very important tip on your side panel, I should mention to you that you can use your @ search menu at any time in Slides as well. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is basically like referencing any of your Drive files. And I go over this in a lot of detail in actually a Google Docs video I did, which you can watch by clicking up here or via the link in the description below. Or you could also check out my Everything Google course where I cover this and a lot more. So all those links are for you in the description below. But here's how to reference all your Drive files. Whether you want to create a new slide or make a summary slide, you can simply type your prompt and say include at, and then this brings up our search menu where here you could select the file of your choice to use as source material. Once you hit enter on that prompt, it's now included that file that you chose as source in its output. So now a few important notes about your side panel. First, you can slide your side panel to make it bigger or smaller at any time just by dragging, or you could use those arrows near the top right to pop it out a little bit or pop it back again. But most importantly, if you close your side panel, all your prompts will remain intact only during this session. So I'm still in my slide deck here, and if I hit the Ask Gemini button again, my side panel pops out with all of my info. I can close this option, and then if I click on the Create an Image option, you're gonna see I've still got all my previous image creation history here too. But, and this is a very important but, if you close out of this presentation, or you refresh your browser, you will lose all of your chat history, both for your image creation and your Ask Gemini panel. So just keep that in mind. Nothing is saved unless it's actually inserted into your presentation. Remember, if you want to learn even more about Google Slides or the entire Google Workspace ecosystem, you can check out my Everything Google course linked for you in the description below. Have fun with Help Me Visualize. So that's Help Me Visualize in Google Slides. Have you used Gemini in Google Slides? Let everyone know in the comments below. What are your favorite features? As always, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, well, I want to know. So give it a like, a share, or leave that comment below. You can click right about here to subscribe to my channel and here for even more content just like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.